Welcome to the Dlsone podcast, where after 20 episodes, we still don't know what we're doing. Hello, and welcome to the 20th episode of the Dlsone podcast. I'm your host for this episode, Daniel Goodman, or DG Cubes.
Adam, or the Rubik's Cubed.
I'm Avocado, or hashtag Cuber.
And joining us as a guest, we have Sean Bouquet from SpeedCubeReview.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. I'm glad it's the 20th, because, nice round numbers make me happy, and 20 is a nice round number.
So before we move on to the Q&A, you have a podcast of your own. Would you like to plug that?
Yes. I would love to plug. So it's the SpeedCubeReview podcast. You can find it on iTunes and upload to YouTube. You were a guest once, so thank you for being on there. I don't remember what episode. It was 6, maybe 5? I don't know.
Yeah, and we want to address that Allison and Derpy are not here because we kicked them off as hosts. They're done. It's just us now. No, actually, they have a competition. They're going to Lexington.
Yeah, they're going to comp.
They weren't able to make it to this one, but
Good luck to them.
Good luck.
yes, definitely.
After that nice introduction, we're going to move on to the Q&A. So, the first question we have comes from the Sour Pretzel, who asks, for everyone, what hobby would you do if you did not cube? So, Sean, you want to start us off for this one?
Oh, well, I already play violin, but I don't know if that's a hobby. That's kind of a job now. It depends, because this is kind of worded like I'm supposed to pick up something new instead of something that I'm already kind of doing. So maybe curling. That'd be something that I've never really done too much. So I'd switch out cubing for curling.
Okay.
I would be interested in that too. I'd definitely be interested in that too.
That was unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I feel like I might go with I feel like I'd probably be more into video games. I still am, as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, if I had to pick up something new, I don't know. Maybe running or something.
Right.
Just long distances. Just
yeah.
No.
I'd like to run.
The first thing I pictured when you said running is not like on a track or time or anything. I just picture you running out of your house, just sprinting down the street. That's the first thing that came to mind.
like Forrest Gump, just across the country.
Just running. Yeah, just going across country.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna continue the sports trend. I've liked basketball for a year now, and I play all the time, almost every day. But if I hadn't started cubing 4 years ago, maybe I would have picked up basketball sooner. Because compared to my friends right now, I suck. So I would like to think that maybe I would be a little bit better if I wasn't cubing. Other than that, I don't know. Curling sounds very appealing to me.
I feel like that'd be a peaceful sport, but I always see people screaming as they throw the rocks down the ice, and
Really?
I don't know why. So maybe it's not as peaceful as I thought.
I tried darts recently, and I liked that. I would become a professional darts.
Is that a thing?
I don't know what you call it. Dartist.
A dartist?
A dartsist.
A dartologist?
Dartologist. Yeah.
Oh, and then Ava was...
That's hard. I think it's cool, the people who go to a lot of arcades and stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's interesting. I used to watch those YouTube videos.
I watch those sometimes.
professional Pac-Manner? Or
Like,
Pac-Manist?
I watch mostly claw machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. Yeah.
Those are definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on one degree, it's there's no way you could ever make back your money or anything, but it's more
Yeah.
it's less about the money aspect of it, but the claw machines in general are just fun to play.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
have the money to waste it on it.
I'm sure you could make a wicked podcast about that and make money back.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the most popular claw machines, there's you probably know, Ava. What's the best YouTube channel for the claw machine stuff? It's something. Something.
I don't know.
No, you don't know.
Oh.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking
I
about.
Wait, this
probably
is
do.
actually a thing?
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
don't
they're
remember the
claw
names,
machine
but
channels.
I probably watched their videos.
Yeah, there's a claw machine person who got really famous on YouTube, and I'm sure they make plenty of money. Like
Yeah, they
enough
make
to-
a lot of money to support
keep
their hobby.
going,
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
I thought that was just one big joke. I didn't realize this was a thing.
No,
Oh,
really?
no, yeah, it's an actual thing.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. Actually, I'd like to add on to mine a little bit. So I might try running, but I also might try speed running. Like Super Mario Bros. And stuff.
So
Yeah.
much
Oh,
clearer
okay.
now.
Yeah.
I just pictured
I've been
you like
watching
with your
some-
arms behind your back, running as fast as you can.
Anime running.
You see, before I
Oh,
thought you
man.
were meant like slow running or like just like jogging. I don't know. Oh,
We are
professional
already off
speed
the
walker.
rails.
Professional speed walker.
That is
exists.
hard.
That was an
Have
Olympic
you ever
sport.
actually tried like speed walking for like
It's so
miles?
interesting.
It
Yeah.
is painful.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's just take 10 minutes, speed walk as fast as you can for 10 minutes. You'll never do it again.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
Huh.
the whole gist of it is
Interesting.
that like you must be on the ground at all times, right?
Mhm.
Right, like that's the general rule of thumb. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they have an Olympic event for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
It was
do.
really weird to watch that on TV.
Yeah, definitely interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Let me take this next question. This is from Mentos Cubing. All right, this is a weird one. I had a dream where me, myself, and Pi walked into a room full of YouTubers, and he was all friendly, like, "Hey, everyone," and all that jazz. Oh, do you want to, DG? Do you want to do a "Hey, everyone" in the?
Oh, I don't know if I can do it that well, but I'll try. Hey, everyone!
That's pretty good. And all that jazz. But everybody just started dissing him and being really mean. It made me sad about how people treat him now. Do you ever feel the same way about him? His channel isn't bad enough that people should treat him like that. And even if it is, he doesn't deserve all the hate he gets.
I like his videos.
Interesting.
I think
Yeah.
okay, his videos are fine. It's just the stuff outside his
Yeah.
channel that I've heard about him is like what makes it bad.
So,
Also-
okay, I'll kind of I don't even know if I'm supposed to even say anything about this, but I guess I will. It's been a while. So on one of the Facebook pages, there was a week where everyone just started ripping on him. I think it was when he got the 100,000 subscribers, and I posted a couple comments just you guys, I don't care what he's his political views or things like that. I don't care what he said. Us doing this is not that's way overblown. We can be better than that. And
Yeah.
he wrote me a message. He reads the stuff on pretty much most of the Facebook groups. He's on there either as himself or as a alias account. But he wrote me to thank me for defending him, and then I wrote him back. It's whoa, how you doing? And he never wrote me back after that. But
Huh.
yeah, so that's he's out, he's seeing all this stuff, and
What?
yeah,
Huh.
it's
That's
Interesting.
nice. That's nice. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, see, yeah, I know what you mean. I think when it all comes down to it, his videos are actually pretty solid,
Mhm.
right? He might not be the fastest cuber, and he might not share the same views as you, and
And he says some,
and I have heard. What?
and he kind of he's
Yeah.
kind of inexperienced, kind of some of the stuff he
Yeah.
says about cubing, not
Yeah.
political stuff, he just
Yeah.
isn't up with the community and stuff.
I mean,
Definitely
his was it? I think in the Worlds video, that's the first thing I literally ever saw
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
YouTube,
that
and
sounds
that's
really
what got me excited about cubing. I mean, I saw it and I was like, wow, this person is a little annoying to listen to, but I love the video. It got me into it.
Yeah.
And, no offense, Billy. No offense.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I mean, I don't think his the quality of his videos were ever was in question. I mean, he makes
Mhm.
great stuff, and that's what I was going to say. He was a big influence to probably most of us. That's who
Yeah.
you first start out watching, And I think he's an easy target because as you grow in the community, you realize what Ava said, he's not necessarily 100% cuber, knows everything that's going on, whatever. Also,
Yeah.
he's an easy target just because he's so much different compared to all of us, in that regard, and also how he talks and stuff like that. So there's nothing wrong with his videos or anything like that, except for posting nationals 2 years late. I feel that's
Well, yeah.
unexcusable. At that point, you don't post that video.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
yeah.
saying. Yeah, but I think its impact is undeniable on the community.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
serious
definitely.
impact.
Mm.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So, Ava, you want to take the next question?
Sure. From Haxpo. For Sean, how often do people spell your name incorrectly?
All the time. More people pronounce bouquet incorrectly though, so I'm like, like there's multiple spellings for Sean, so I'm not angry about it. Like it's SHAWN for those who are curious, but there's SHAUN, there's SEAN, which somebody like got in an argument with me that SEAN is not pronounced Sean, as if I don't know what Sean is. But yeah, I just have to like move on from being angry about that, about someone spelling my name wrong.
Is SEAN the most common?
I can't remember the like actual, is it not etymology, like lineage.
Okay.
One of them is more Irish and one of it is more English. I think the SHAWN is, so I don't really know what's more common. I remember I asked my parents once why they spelt it that way, and my mom was like, we wanted to spell the way it sounds. Okay, good. I like that answer.
Fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, all the Seans I've ever known are SEAN.
Yeah, same.
So, except for you.
They're wrong.
So.
My mom one time told me she knew some like twins named Sean and Scene, but they were spelled
What?
they were both spelled Sean.
That's
So-
disappointing.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I feel so bad for Scene
Alright.
though.
Yeah, well,
I would just like to mention,
Yeah.
like this is kind of unrelated. I really like this username. Like
Haxpo?
I like that.
That's a pretty
Could-
cool name.
Could that go into is that Hall of Fame potential? Just so you know, I've talked about this like for the past 10 episodes. Daniel and I actually made a Hall of Fame for
Yep.
usernames.
We
It's on the website.
not
Go
yet,
check
but
out.
it will be by the time this episode's up.
wait,
Yeah.
can you
I was-
explain
so-
your reasoning?
Well, ever since like because of the Q&As, we come across some
No,
usernames, and
this
they're just-
username, why you like it.
Oh, this username. I don't know. It just sounds cool.
I will. Okay, I've been sitting here for the past, I don't know, 20 seconds, so trying to figure out why that sounds so familiar. And my wife's like little abbreviation at work is Expo, because A for her first name, then she didn't put a middle initial, so it put an X in, and then BO is first two for the last name. So Expo is her like abbreviation at work.
Oh, that's
So I
funny.
was like, why is that so familiar?
Interesting. Yeah, that's close.
That's funny.
I don't know. Like, is there a reasoning for like putting any name in a Hall of Fame? It just sounds cool. Let's have a vote.
Scene.
That's going in.
Yeah,
there.
that's
We're
going
putting
in. All right, so the next question.
All in favor, say aye.
I
Wait, what are we
Aye.
saying? I too.
Scene.
Okay.
All right,
aye.
let's go to the Hall of
aye,
Fame.
yeah.
Congratulations,
No, numbered either
Expo.
Okay, so the next question. I put this after the previous question because the previous question was about how often people spell your name incorrectly. So Zekluz asks, Schwan, should
Go on.
should I branch out to more musical instruments or stick with the violin and get better at it?
That's like when people ask if I should stick with the Valk or pick up a GT. It's like, I don't know, do what you want. Violin, I wouldn't even say is my main instrument anymore. Like I picked up the viola, which honestly is like a violin a lot. But viola I'd say is my more main one. But since I like went to school for music education, like I had to learn trumpet, trombone, and euphonium, like all these different instruments. So, I mean, I've gotten to a point where I've been playing violin for like 20 years. So picking up something else, it's like, okay, I don't think I'm going to get to the point I am with violin unless I completely stop one. But I don't know. I mean, I always say pick up something else anyways, but viola is good because alto clef, you should know how to read alto clef, and colleges look for violists. Like that's a big thing. Violist is like really lucrative in the career college world.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
Choose viola as your main.
Sean, didn't your
All I kept thinking is like cubes named after instruments. When you kept saying main, it's like, my main is a viola. I'm like, wait.
It's better name than the wingy.
Yes.
yeah, I don't get that one.
It's got wings. It can fly.
I love that name. Wingy. It's so cool. That
Oh,
would
you
go
have
in
it?
my
Nice.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The wingy.
What were you saying, DG?
Oh yeah, Sean, didn't your speed solving username used to be like Viola Bouquet or something?
Oh, yeah. So, I used to, like, my username for a lot of things was just, Viola and then bouquet, but bouquet spelled as flower bouquet because there's a flower spelled like viola, but it's pronounced viola. So it's like a bouquet of viola. Yeah, so it's my play on words there.
Nice.
And then I got to a point where I was like, hey, I should maybe just have my own channel name be that. So, I like became a subscriber, patron for the speed solving forum, so I could change it.
Yeah. That's
But
cool.
yeah, it used to be that. Good memory.
He'll memorize a lot. He has a good memory. Seven blindfolded key. That's pretty good.
He just has a big spreadsheet of people's previous usernames, just in case it comes up.
I actually,
DG,
I
wouldn't be
do
surprised.
have spreadsheets.
You love spreadsheets. You love spreadsheets.
I want
DG and I just finished making a program on a spreadsheet. Like, so going before nationals, I was going to do a bunch of averages to practice. So I wanted to see a way to, see my improvement mathematically. And, that's pretty easy. Take your averages, find a average rate of change. That's not too hard. But, not everybody can do that in the cubic community. There's some younger people. So I had the idea of, like, making a program where you just plug in your times and it calculates your improvement. So DG and I just finished that. We're going to release it soon.
Yeah.
Nice.
People want to use
Cool.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, I
It
made.
makes like a graph and everything.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Oh yeah, but also I made another spreadsheet recently. This is like really sidetracky, but I really want to mention this because it's like Dlsone related. So for the Dlsone podcast website, I would like, I hated editing that after every single episode because it would take like a while to like rewrite the HTML code every single time. So recently I made a spreadsheet where I just put in certain information, it writes the code for me, and it automatically updates the website with that code. So,
With a spreadsheet?
yeah, so the website, I use JavaScript to have the website reference the spreadsheet, and it takes certain cells and adds them to the HTML of the document, or of the website. So so now that's how we're going to update our website in the future. So it's going to be a lot quicker.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Why write code when you can write a code to write code?
Exactly.
And yeah, I was helping him like update it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like it says like put URL here for like the video, put the size of the file here, put like the title, put the description, and then it writes the whole code and puts it on the website. It's so cool.
The most accomplished I feel like I've been with writing code was when I wrote stuff with my TI-83 calculator.
Oh, nice.
And so I could like quickly run through different exams I'd have in like math class because the teacher wouldn't clear out stuff in there. She would just look to see if we like put notes in there. But yeah, I just had the programs of the equations so I could do that.
Oh,
so I was
nice.
really pumped about that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Like messing around with the calculators. My I don't program much myself. I've tried to pick it up multiple times, but it's not for me. But my friends on their calculators, they programmed a game because they had a class where they would never do anything. So they just spent like the class period programming this game on the calculator. And then by the time they finished it, like it was a half-year class. The class was over and they had no free time to play it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's still in the calculator, which is funny.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was like a dungeon-based game. Like,
Really?
It was like this whole big thing. Like, yeah, so
Wow.
basically you choose a direction to go in, and it like generates a dungeon, and you get to like fight different
Dang,
entities.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's pretty cool.
That's intense. All right.
All right, next
So,
question.
Adam, you want to ask it?
Yeah. All right, this one's from Jason Harley. When you're asked about your favorite sports, none of you said cubing. Is speed cubing a sport?
No.
Yeah, I'll
No.
start off with this. I've talked about this for a while. I can go through the whole script again, but I'm not
What?
going to. I scripted a whole video for this.
Oh.
You don't remember, DJ?
Oh, wait.
I read you the script.
Yeah. Now I remember.
Yeah. My answer is yes. Mainly because if you go through, like, I'm a logical person. You go through the definitions of everything and see if it fits, you know? Ava's already laughing at me. So, all right, sport, right? Let me get the exact definition up here. Let me get my script going. Let's go. All right, you guys can start.
Well, no, okay, so while you're looking up, I just put define sport in Google.
Yeah.
And says an activity involving a physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. That's a really actually specific definition. I mean, it says physical exertion. As much as you're not like dripping of sweat after cubing, that's a physical exertion.
Yeah.
Although, never mind. Keep going. And then competing against others for entertainment. I mean, do they talk about entertainment for other people or for themselves? Because it's not really like presented as these two people are competing against each other so other people can watch them do it.
But that
although
happens
people
sometimes.
I would argue
Head-to-head
against that.
finals.
Like, yeah, if you Worlds or Nationals finals, like Nationals finals, I remember 2014. It was nuts.
It was.
You know, every story was filled with people.
It really
watching.
was, yeah.
Yeah. In my view, like that's. I have this right here. I'm gonna go. I have the same definition as you. So, does it involve skill? Yes. Does it entertain people? I put yes for that. Is there a competitive aspect? Yes. So it has all of that. What it's missing is the physical exertion. That's the issue with the sports definition.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
So here's my view of it. Find an example like cubing that is a sport that doesn't have physical exertion. What's the answer? Chess. Chess is an internationally. What's the word? Hold on. There's like a committee. The Olympic Committee recognizes it as an official sport. Yeah. Chess is a recognized sport of the International Olympic Committee.
So I'm gonna make a major throwback here, and I feel like cubing has as much exertion as curling might. I mean,
True.
like there's definitely muscles used in both.
Yeah.
You're like I said, you're not like needing. I don't know. You're not needing like hydration afterwards. It's a lot of mental preparation as well, and just practice of doing the same thing over and over. I'm sure there's some like curling expert out there who's really mad right now at me though. Everyone in Canada is shaking their fists.
We're gonna get a lot of mad Canadians in the comment section. Like, excuse me.
They'll be very polite about it though.
Title: Mad Canadians.
We do recognize that not all Canadians curl. We're not saying that.
I'm saying that.
I'm not saying that.
What do you do when you're not playing hockey? It's
True.
Adam, title possibility: Mad Canadian Curlers.
Mad Canadian curlers. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Going off the chess thing, I mean, it's the exact same checklist. Does it have some sort of competitive aspect? Is it for entertainment? I mean, look at like, you know, with the whole chess grandmaster. I don't know a lot about chess, but you know, I watched this movie Pawn Sacrifice, which is about Bobby Fischer, right? And you know, the whole thing with the competitions that they have, you know, to become a grandmaster and all of that. You know, that's for entertainment purposes. It has a crowd of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So it hits everything on the list except for physical exertion. So I think there's some leeway there. In the general sense, if you say what are some sports, no, I don't think cubing is a sport. like in, you know, in that sense. But I think, you know, words can mean different things in different contexts.
Okay.
You know, so. Maybe it's just like sport is too general of a term, and that would be my view on it. So you could say yes or no.
It's funny, I was actually talking about this yesterday in a video call last night, and I jokingly said, cubing is a sport because it requires physical exertion to get up and bring your cube to the scrambling table. So...
not wrong. Definitely right.
I think if there's some argument about whether something is a sport or not, it's probably not a sport.
Yeah, that's how I've kind of felt about
Good
it,
point.
too.
Yeah, good point.
I still lean towards no, but I do see your point, Adam.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not an extremist. I'm not going to be like, if you don't think it's a sport, you're wrong.
Sean, what were you saying?
well, it's like people who don't think golf is a sport just because it's not as constant movement and exertion that you would have in like basketball or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, you know, they walk to different places, but I mean, other than that, it's not much. It's, besides swinging the golf club. So
They walk
you can make
to
arguments
different
for a bunch of
places.
stuff. Like Right now, if we're going full extreme, it's going to be like, golf's not a sport, curling's not a sport, bowling's not a sport, dart's not a sport. Just offend a bunch of people.
Speed running is a sport, though.
It is, definitely.
Yes, that's it.
Hey, Mario gets really tired after those speed runs.
That I would love to have a Mario game where he's like, after a while, he just gets tired and just gets to take a nap.
I just got that you were talking about video game speedrunning.
Wait.
I thought for the whole time you meant like running quickly.
What?
We had this conversation.
Wait, yeah, Adam.
What?
This was already said.
I'm
Yeah.
so confused. I thought for this whole time I didn't realize you were talking about like video game speedrunning until just now.
Oh, man. Okay.
Alright,
Ava, you
got the
want to
next
take the
one,
next
Ava?
one?
Okay. Underwater Cuber asks, how do you feel when someone is somewhat slow, gets a super lucky single? WR even.
Good job for them. There's some people who are really consistent. Like, Felix is consistent. But even a lot of, like, his fastest times are a skip of some sort or just an easy... Like, even ones that aren't skips are often an easy F12 or an easy cross.
Yeah.
So it's like, depending on what lucky is... Now, when I see people who are like, yeah, I average 30 seconds, my best is 7. Like, no, it's not. I'm not going to, like, call them out on Facebook or something, but no, it's not.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I feel like when somebody slower gets a world record, I feel like that tends to bother the community more than if they just get a good solve. Like, you know, when you look at the Christian Casera's .69 2x2 world record single, like, you know, nobody really, like, had much respect for him for that single, you know? And, like, I mean, I guess it is 2x2, so, like, 2x2 single is
Yeah.
so luck-based. I feel like something like 3x3, you kind of have to be
Yeah, you
decently fast to get, like, a world record.
I'm just gonna argue that like for 2x2 single, in that case you're right, you didn't get respect for that. But then again, like nobody really should get respect
Okay.
for a 2x2 single.
That's
I'm
kind of
just
true,
saying.
yeah.
I mean, like
if you-
2x2 average, yeah.
Like, if you're fast and you do get 2x2 single, people are going to respect you because you're fast at
Yeah.
2x2, not
Yeah.
because you're single.
It's not because you got the 2x2 single
Yeah.
record. Definitely not. So.
How about if somebody is, like, they average, like, I don't know, 15 on 3x3, they just get a ridiculously lucky solve and get a 4.
I don't think that's possible.
No.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be,
Yeah.
like, too lucky.
I mean, even considering like TPS, because I average like 4.5 for TPS. So I thought, I've been calculating sometimes, like, okay, what would it take for me to get a world record?
Mhm.
And if I'm turning at 4.5 turns per second on average, let's say I'm at 5, let's say I'm doing a pretty decent solve,
Okay.
it would have to be like a 22 move solve or something like that
Yeah.
at most for me to get it.
Yeah,
And if that's the
true.
case, I think anyone who got that, who's like what legitimate, would be like, I got it, but that was stupid.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like there was a while, probably when I was a little slower at 3x3, even a little bit now, I kind of wonder, like, if I happened to get really lucky somehow and got a 3x3 world record single, like, honestly, I would kind of feel bad about it, you know? Like,
Same.
I would kind of want to be like, hey, you can DNF this if you want, you know? Like,
No, you would not say that.
I wouldn't DNF it, but, like...
You would not actually.
Pretend this
Like,
didn't
you might
happen.
say it in a video, but you
yeah,
would
that's-
not tell the WC
I
to
guess
DNF.
that's true. Yeah, I guess so. If I were...
I want to get your take on this,
Yeah.
DG, but like, I don't know. This doesn't have to do with like the inexperienced part, but being somebody that like has been in the range that you're able to get a world record. You know, at Nats 2015, like you were just there for Pyraminx.
Wait,
like your next
20
competition.
2015?
I wasn't at Nets.
2016. Sorry.
Wait, I wasn't
He
there
He
either.
wasn't there either.
No, I'm just saying in general during
Oh,
the time
okay,
period
okay.
of Nationals
Got it,
2016.
okay.
Oh.
You were in the range where your next competition, even if your next competition, if you got lucky, you could have gotten the world record average for Pyraminx. Is that
Right.
wrong?
Right. mhm.
Right. And then Drew Brad's got the 2.14.
Right.
How did that make you feel?
That actually really hurt, not gonna lie. Because, you know, the 214, like, at this point, that's lucky even for Drew, you know? So, I don't see anybody beating that in the near future, especially myself. Like, I mean, I've gotten better averages at home, but that's because, like, and very rarely, like, once or twice, but that's because I've done thousands of solves at home. You know, I only get, like, 5 to 10 in a competition, depending on how many rounds they have. So, it did kind of hurt because the potential was there up until that point, but I don't know. It was, yeah.
The only thing I can feel like I can hope to ever get a record in would be FMC, which I have like so much practicing to do with that to get up to it. But it's like my old hands cannot turn that fast anymore. Like I've been doing violin for years, so I've got that muscle built up. But I still feel like there's a limit where I feel like I'm not going to be getting 10 turns per second in a solve. I mean, I can do it in just turning the cube, but I don't know if I'll ever get to that being able to see everything and actually do. Like I'm trying to learn COLL, and like whenever I get it, I'm just like pausing for 10 seconds and then doing the L slowly, and I was like, this might be worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Like that's so much. You gotta. It's not just practice. Also, like people like Felix, like you have some like innate skill. You got
Definitely.
it. Like, so I don't know. Like at this point in time, like some events, like this is why I want WCA to add more events. Like certain events are out of reach for most people.
Yeah.
Like 3x3 is out of reach. You
Yeah.
know, Pyraminx probably out of reach.
What kind of events?
This is actually a discussion that I added in the show notes for after the Q&A, but we can start it now a little bit. Continue.
Sorry.
On. Sorry.
Then
No.
I'll end my thought here, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there are a few events left that you could like get into it, get good, get up there, but not very many, and those are like a shrinking commodity. So it's soon going to be like there's no events that anybody could be like, I'm one day going to be world class in this, without having to spend 10 or 20 years at it. So I feel like that's an argument for adding more events. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. But
I know what you mean.
we could talk about it a little bit later.
Yeah. All right. So next question comes from GD Cuber. Question for Sean with a U. Do you plan to make your board game somewhat commercially available? So do you want to like elaborate for the people who don't know about your board game?
Yeah. So basically like while I was practicing, I wanted to find a way to just make it a little more fun to do it. Because what I would do when I would practice is I would like have a few different cubes in front of me, and whenever I would get maybe like, well, first every time I did like 5 solves, I would switch. I was like, okay, let me make it where whenever I get a solve over like a certain amount of seconds, I switch puzzles. And I was actually made it quite enjoyable because it would force me to it would also force me to kind of recalibrate everything when I pick up a new puzzle. And so I made a little board game for that. And it's just that. I mean, it's where, if you can watch the video, go to my channel, check that out.
I'll link it in the show notes.
But it's just if you try to get to the end of the board game, and if you get above a certain time, you switch, and if you're playing with more people, then they would go. But I guess it kind of is commercially available. Like, it's a free download. I don't see making some crazy big expensive cardboard like board that you can buy like that seems really excessive because it's a simple game. I guess if it got, because what I was worried about with is I wanted to do something bigger. I wanted to make something that was like, had cards and had you do different things. Like, I don't know, you would solve it with one hand while singing I'm a Little Teapot. I don't know, just something to make it different. But I felt like as far as doing that, all of a sudden it wouldn't be something that people would just want to pick up and be like, yeah, this would be a fun thing to do. Like, that would be a whole new adventure of like trying to get this other thing. So it's free to download, but I think for anything to make it a commercially available, like something that'd be sold, it's like a bigger thing, it'd have to be some crazy board game that would have you do a bunch of different things and just a bunch of different crazy, like, I don't know, things with it.
I could see that happening though. That would be fun.
Like, I'm starting to like the idea of I'm a Little Teapot. Maybe like, because there's all these things you can be like, you can only get past the square if you like solve it with, oven mitts on or something like that. But you couldn't do a time stamp limit on that. It'd have to be like, if you don't, I don't know, there'd be all these different extra rules they'd have to come up with.
Yeah.
And,
As far as like the commercial viability thing, I don't even know if that's a great idea because cubing is such a niche market, So if you're gonna spend all that money to produce a whole game, it may not come back to you.
Yeah.
So I like to download, but
yeah. I mean, I was gonna call it Rubik's Race, and then I realized Rubik's Race is
Is
a
already
thing
a
you can
game.
buy. Yeah, that's actually a
That's
thing
pretty
from
funny.
Rubik's.
Rubik's
Like I made the board and I
Two.
typed that up, and then I was like, let me check this out. Maybe there's something else with this I'm gonna be copying. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm copying Rubik's. Okay, that's bad.
Nice. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's something you want to avoid at all costs. 7 towns will go after you.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Am I next?
Yeah, Adam.
All right. Oh, this is a Hall of Fame name. It's already in the Hall of Fame. Don't worry. Cubing Burger.
Really?
Can you
Yeah,
can
it's
you
there.
make a poll in the next podcast where we can choose our favorite segment, so we can finally settle which one is the best? I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Alright, so, for everybody who doesn't, you should know, like, if you've listened
can I
to the
make it?
podcast enough. Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Sean, but, like, there's an argument between DG and I. Like, I made a segment called Who Did What, and we do that sometimes. And then he made a segment called Cubing in the News, and depending on who introduces it, we introduce it as the best segment or, like, the second best segment. So I think Who Did What is the best segment, and DG thinks that Cubing the News is the best segment. So we gotta settle it.
Yep.
That's how we're gonna do it. I feel like I'm
We'll-
gonna lose this battle probably.
We'll settle this like men with a poll.
Wait, so can you just name them? I have Keeping the News and Who Did What. What else is there?
Do we have others?
Yeah.
What event is this
Um,
time from?
What
yeah,
event is
it's
this time from?
Oh, okay. How about Real
Um,
Talk Cubing? We're doing that this time.
Real Talk Cubing and Q&A.
Oh, does Q&A
Q&A.
count?
Does
Okay, wait, no.
count?
Put
Yeah,
next.
Q&A counts.
Put next guest too.
Next cast. Introductions.
There should be one just completely vague one that's not actually from the show, like favorite dehydrated vegetable.
Just to like weed out the people who aren't actually taking it seriously.
But
Yeah.
you see, if we do that, that's gonna win though, and then that
Yeah.
And it has to become a segment.
Yeah, that's true. Then it becomes a segment.
There was a trivia
had
one.
more.
Ava.
Oh yeah,
Trivia.
trivia. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
We did that, like,
one
once or
sentence
twice.
story.
Oh yeah.
One sentence story. Yeah.
What else?
Is
there?
that it?
Nothing else really, right?
I think that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
What if neither Keeping the News or Who Did What wins?
Well, then we'll just have to settle for.
Then we'll see which one has more votes.
Oh, that's true. What if they tie?
Oh, true.
Okay, stop.
What if nobody votes for either of them? It turns out that
Adam, we're
I'm
the only
one who
ones
likes
that like
segment,
them.
and DG's the only one who likes Keeping the News.
Okay.
All right.
So, Ava, you want to take the next one?
Yeah. Yeah.
TetraCuber.
From TetraCuber to everyone, if this podcast got featured on a very popular podcast, millions of people listen to it, and each of you were given 15 words to explain everything that you wanted to about cubing, what would you say?
Interesting. I like that question.
Huh.
I feel like I have to count exactly 15 words, like it's a haiku.
Yeah,
or something.
same.
Oh, I know haikus are more than 15 words. Just so people don't get angry at me about them.
Well,
It's
they might-
575.
Well, no, that's syllables though.
Oh, you're right.
Hmm.
I'm an adult. I don't know. It is a sport.
You already made a mistake. That's it.
That's it. The community is pretty good.
Pretty good. Why would you waste 2 words? Like, say good.
The community is amazing.
I would start off with a general description. So I would say cubing is about solving puzzles quickly, and it has a great community. That's 12.
It's a sport.
End.
That's the end.
Like, why would we
There
be
go.
limited to 15 words? That doesn't. It's not fair.
Yeah, that's true.
It's one of those
We're gonna
things, like,
feature
can
you
make
on
it
our
really
podcast.
general. You can make it
Yeah.
really general, like 2 words, solve cubes. Or you can make it like really long. You can go on forever. Like going into the nuances of everything.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I think that's pretty good though.
Yeah, we got it.
Covers most of it.
All right.
GG.
Yeah, M. Cuber asks, how is every Dlsone podcast episode made? So we
With the mic.
Yeah, that's pretty true. We find a guest, we find a time that we're free, we record, and we edit, and then we upload.
Fun fact, often we have such poor planning that we announce the guest before we ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened this time, didn't it?
Well,
I'm pretty did it happen
no,
this
I
time?
asked you like a couple minutes before the podcast.
So you didn't have his permission.
No.
Okay, because I didn't I didn't listen to the whole podcast yet,
Yeah.
but I don't think I actually replied till after it came out.
Yeah.
And then because I asked you, I was like, oh, is there a place I should that's gonna be publicized
Yeah.
that people can ask questions? You're like, oh, they already did. I'm like, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, the last podcast. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we kind of just hope people say yes. No.
Yeah.
Usually the way we do it is like we announce who we want on, and then we contact them, and then if we have to, we'll edit that out.
Yeah, but
And
we've
then
never
we'll
had
put
to do
someone
that
else's name in
before,
there.
so.
We've never had to do that, luckily.
Yeah.
Like, we've never had somebody go, no.
Yeah.
Do you want to come on the podcast? No. So,
Oh yeah, but Sean, also
yeah.
I thought it was a little less risky because I think on our when I was on your podcast, I think we discussed that. So
Yeah.
I thought
we did.
it just we hadn't discussed about doing it for this next episode.
Yeah, so in
Sorry
general,
about
to
that, by
answer
the
your
way.
question, how is the podcast made? Pretty shoutily. Like, with poor planning and execution.
Yeah.
One thing
I
that
would
I didn't realize until I noticed in a couple of them that people were talking about seeing something, that this is video, that we see video, but you guys don't. So you guys get shafted on that.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could make a video pod. Well,
I mean,
I don't know. That would kind of defeat
Yeah.
the purpose.
It would be really hard to
Most
get.
people listen.
Yeah. And it would be really hard to get everybody's faces like alternating when they're talking and stuff. So. Because
True.
like we have a lot
Also,
of people.
Yeah, that would take much longer to edit, and
Yeah.
also most people just listen to the podcast like while solving. They don't even
Yeah.
watch it anyway. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think it works out pretty well as it is. But
Yep. All right, so we've got 2 questions left, and then our next segment. So,
oh boy.
Adam, it's your turn for this, for the penultimate question.
95.
Oh, that's a pretty good
Grapefruit
name.
95. You like that one?
Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
Grapefruit 95.
I'm gonna block that one from the Hall of Fame. Sorry, Grapefruit 95.
I
Yeah,
had
but-
never. Wait, I'm gonna cut in for a second. I had never had grapefruit until I was like 20.
Really?
Yeah,
I've never had a grapefruit.
We
I
couldn't
love
have it in the
grapefruit.
house. Like we couldn't have it in the house because my mom had a kidney transplant. And what's weird is I'm very like making it simplified, but the medicine that's like prevents her body from attacking the kidneys, the like transplant. If you have grapefruit or certain foods, it like reverses it, like cancels out
Really?
medicine. So then they attack. Yeah. So she's like can't have any grapefruit. So I never had it till I was 20, and it's weird. It's a weird fruit. It's very bitter.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, that was story time. Anyway.
That's cool.
I don't know. Grapefruit. You have I would label your username as like a solid to good, but not Hall of Fame worthy.
Huh.
Good 7.6.
7.6.
I'd give it like an 8.3. I think it's pretty good.
That's Hall of Fame worthy to you?
It's just a word. Like a common word.
Hey, and a number.
Oh,
very serious.
Wow. It's like
It
a
means-
password.
Is there an X at the beginning and the end of it? Because all good usernames have an
Oh,
X at
true.
the beginning and the end of it.
And a bunch of
No.
underscores.
No, it doesn't. So therefore, we're not putting it in the Hall of Fame.
XX underscore SpeedCubeReview underscore XX.
You need to change it right away.
Do it.
We all have to. All right. Question for everybody. So at some point, all of the WCA events will bottom out in terms of speed and will be near impossible. We already started to talk about this. Near impossible to break. What do you think the last event to bottom out like this will be? That's a great question.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. Like, the 5.55, everyone was like, oh, that's the end. Like, it's been 2 years, no one's broken it, and then it was 5.25, and then it was... And now, like, it's in the 4 seconds, but... Like, how many people have sub 5 second solves already? And they're all so close to it. I don't think it's ever going to like bottom out. Like it might be longer distances between them, but it's, I don't know, unless someone gets like a 3.2 second solve or something.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, I would generally agree. I think it will hit a wall eventually. Just like, we don't have to, like, we'll be long dead probably if the hobby is still going on. Like, because I mean, as you get closer, like this is the line of like, or people can't see that. Imagine a line that represents like the best possible solve, right? Ever, right? You're lucky. It's like a 15 move scramble somehow. You see the solution and you do maximum TPS for a human. That's possible. Like, that would be the best possible solve ever, right? And let's just say it's 2. Just choose easy numbers, 2, right?
So 15 wait, that's 7.5 TPS.
I just chose an arbitrary.
I think it would be faster
numbers.
than that.
Relax.
I think it would be
relax.
faster than that. Okay.
All right. So let's just say 2 is the maximum, the best solve anybody could ever get.
Okay.
As we get closer to 2, just as Sean said, like, they're just gonna get further apart, right? And also, you have like so many decimal places that you could possibly get, because as it gets closer and closer to the best possible time, you're going to start to get like the deviations between each world record to become less and less. So you're gonna get like a 3.12. The next one will be like 3.11, you know, like sort of just look at like run the 100 meter dash world records. Like that's an interesting chart to look at. Like for the history of like the Olympics, it starts off like really far, right? And the deviations between each line is a lot, but then as you get down closer and closer, they're like 50 ties, and like the next one they're like a whole bunch of ties again, like only a tenth of a second less, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to happen. It's going to take hundreds of years for it to bottom out like that. But
Okay.
And I think even if it does, like no one is, I feel like if it got to the point where people were not breaking world records, no one's going to really focus on that part of it, and it'll just be, you know, who's winning what competition.
Yeah.
Like when you watch a lot of other sports, people aren't like, oh, is he going to break this world record? Like, no, it's just who's winning this competition.
Yeah.
good point, yeah.
So in that case, see, like they're asking about the last event to bottom out like that. So let's assume they all do. What do you think the last one will be?
The most unsaturated.
Feet.
5 blind?
Yeah, I was gonna say feet.
Really?
Feet is so unsaturated. Well, so is 5 blind, I guess.
5 blind's pretty like that has the least amount of competitors.
Yeah.
Feet blind.
5 feet
and
blind.
big blinds and clock.
Really though, because like clock is already really fast.
I think it could be a lot faster. There's
Really?
not a lot of world class people, I think.
That's true.
I honestly am just waiting for clock to not be an event anymore. I feel like it's going to happen.
I think
I don't
feet
know.
would happen before clock.
What's that?
I think feet would be removed
Really?
before clock. If
I
they
think-
both were to happen.
I think it shouldn't be, but I think the WCA probably would, because I think a lot of delegates don't like it.
I think they would get rid of 3x3 before clock. There's
Yeah, we're
no
done
way
with
they're
that.
getting rid of clock. It's their staple. It's their staple. I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna riot if they get rid of clock. Also, I've never solved a clock before or owned a clock, but it's the best event, hands down.
Oh man.
I don't know. Like, I don't have. Obviously, I'm not the speed cubing expert here, so I don't think my opinion would really have any validation behind it. But I like the 5 blind idea. I would say that.
Yeah, like when you look at the amount that the 5 blind records are jumping by, like it went from like a 410 or something to like a 340.
Yeah,
Like that's
but at the same time,
insanity.
if you look at clock, you're going. How much room do you have until you hit 0? Not that much. If you look at 5 blind, you're starting at minutes, not seconds.
Yeah.
Much more space to improve.
Yeah. Theoretically, the fastest solve possible on every event is 0.06. Or, well, 0.07, because if it's 0.06 or lower, or is it, no, it's less than 0.06, so 0.06 is the fastest.
I don't think that would.
Okay, what are you talking about?
No, because, like, the WCA regulations...
Yeah, I know what
yeah.
you're talking about, but, like, that's nothing's gonna be 0.06
Yeah.
anyway, so.
You can't even stop a timer like that.
I'm
that
just
quickly.
saying, physically possible. is 0.06. Like, that's the
By the time-
absolute
Okay,
limit.
yeah, but like that's not happening. Like,
By the time
Okay.
you make your first turn, it's already past. Like even before that, you pick up the puzzle. It's 0.06.
Hey, I'm gonna prove you all wrong. I'm gonna get Pyraminx single world record 0.06. It's happening.
like Oscar's video.
Yeah, like Oscar's video.
Oh man. All right, one more question.
Okay, Ava, you want to take it?
Yeah, sure. CFOPT Cuber for all. What is your favorite non-WCA puzzle?
This leads into our next segment.
Yeah, that's the question.
Which
for
is-
CG. Gosh.
Okay,
Don't jump the gun.
yeah. I have to go with Ready Cube.
You have one?
Which I have to mention,
Yeah.
Sean.
Yes.
Why isn't your Ready Cube solved? This is the whole thing I've been staring at the whole time.
Because I felt like it looked kind of cool and artistic. Is that
For the
better?
Yeah, that's
viewers,
better.
Basically, Sean's Ready
It-
Cube in the background had like a quarter turn on it away from
A
being
sixth
solved.
It was
Turn.
like,
A
yeah.
sixth- yeah, something like that. And it was annoying me the whole time.
I was confused at first. I was like, it is solved. Oh yeah. So my favorite. I mean, I actually haven't solved it in a while, but the 4x4 Fisher cube, because it needs just enough of like knowledge. There's like a separate PLL parity algorithm you have to know, but you don't have to worry about centers because you can do the top and bottom last, and edges are pretty nice to do. So that 4x4 Fisher cube's nice. I think that's my favorite to solve, but yeah, actually that's my answer.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, I don't pick up non-WCA puzzles all that much, just to solve. Besides sticker mods, I won't include sticker mods in this. But I don't know. When I do pick them up, I pick up shape mods. So, and because they're so similar, I wouldn't choose one specific one because you have your crazy Fisher, crazy windmill, whatever the Hot Wheel one is called.
I think
It's
that's
like
the
Moto
windmill.
Hot
Actually, I think
Wheel.
it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's
think
the same
so.
thing. So what am I thinking of? There's a third one. Oh, Axis Cube.
Right.
Yeah, those are the three that I pick up mainly when I like have the urge. I don't have it often. I have the urge just to solve a puzzle. So, yeah.
Ava?
I never do that stuff, but probably like Siamese cube.
Nice.
'Cause
That's
you don't
pretty
need-
fun.
I can't wrap my
The-
head around like other stuff, so
I was about to say the Siamese mirror blocks, but do you have one in the background, DG?
Yeah, I do.
That was actually one of, like, because I didn't know what I was getting into. I thought actually it was a 5x5, like a 5x3x3. I didn't realize
Okay.
it was a
It's
Siamese
crazy.
cube, but
Yeah.
it's like that was a ton of fun to solve and actually to get through.
Yeah, I really like this puzzle.
Does it count as a Siamese? Isn't it like? Is that a technical term like that specifically means something in modding? I'm not sure.
It is
Because
Siamese.
like I always knew it as the fusion. I
That's-
always knew it as a fusion.
That's what this
Is it
is.
the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
just checking.
yeah. It's just two mirror blocks put together, but they're put together so they look like a solid shape. Like like a rectangular prism. But technically it
yeah,
is
my
just two mirror
Siamese
blocks.
cube isn't like that.
Yeah, like regular 3x3 Siamese cubes, I don't think you can
By the
do
corner.
that.
Yeah, you can either have it by the corner
Yeah.
or like a deeper.
Yeah, no, that's how this is done though. But since the mirror blocks is like a shapeshifter, it's like different. Like it you can do that with this.
Gotcha.
If you kind of see what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right. So
That's-
that
that's
wraps
it for
up
that.
our. Wait, let me put this back.
Wait, did you say that there was something else that this went into that last question?
Yeah, this leads into our next section or next segment.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Real talk cubing.
So, yeah. So that's gonna wrap up our Q&A segment. But now it's time for us to move on to Real Talk Cubing, which we haven't actually had on the podcast in a little while. But basically, for those of you who are uninitiated, it's it's basically just a segment where we talk about something going on in cubing, whether it's like controversial or just like something that could spark a conversation that some of us have opinions on one way or the other. So what we're going to be talking about this time is the idea about adding new WCA events. to the WCA, if we should add them or if we should remove them, like clock and feet, like we were talking about before, and also which kind of ties into that. What you guys think about the fact that we don't have feet at nationals this year? So we'll just start off with
And last year.
And last year, yeah. So let's just start off with, do you guys think that we should have more WCA events, or do you think we're good as it is? Like, do you think we should have more or remove any, or we're okay?
I feel like this is one of those things where there's some things I'd like to see, but they're not necessary. Like if WCA made a thing where there's like a second tier of events, so you like have the main ones like 2 through 7 and some other things, but like I'd like to see mirror blocks as an event. I feel like it actually the big debates, how do you regulate the sizes, but I feel like that'd be pretty simple, just about ratios and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't even have to, if they made a second tier of WCA things, so tournaments can have the regular amount and then say, okay, on like Sunday we're going to have the second tier events, which would be mirror blocks and feet and clock and like the silly ones. So it'd be like the the fun part of the WCA, not the super serious 3x3 solves.
I like that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I like that.
Me too. I'd like to add to that a bit. Like, I'm a strong yes, but also like keeping in mind, I'm not the one who has to implement it, which is obviously like extremely difficult. So, the way I would go about doing it is if I want to do mirror blocks or like a cuboid, before I put that into nationals or anything, just choose a region and like test it out as an event. So like have 2 or 3 delegates in the region, like, okay, we're trying this now. It's your job to see what can be improved, whatever. Like do a trial run in like a smaller location. So, and you can have a bunch of those going on at once. Like, let's just take the United States just for this example. Let's, I don't know the regions, but let's go south. Let's make it easy. North, south, east, west. Right? That's not actually the thing. But if we go like in the north, they're like, all right, we're going to try out in this region mirror blocks. In the south, we're going to try out 3x3x2, and like that. And then you could say, okay, this one worked, these 3 didn't. Let's have this one at nationals, right? So like,
okay.
You don't have to go full implementation right away, and it's like sort of this experimental phase where nothing's official. You're just like trying it out.
Yeah, so like records would still be kept if it became a big thing.
I don't know. The way I would do it, like if I was in charge of like doing this, nothing would be official. Like I would do like before implementation, like world record or something like that. Like give them like a nice consolation prize, but be like, you helped make this an event, but you don't have the world record.
Yeah, I mean, you could even do like how it's a second thing, like at I don't know, let's say like nationals, like there'll be the day before is the second tier event, so like that mirror blocks Kibby Minx would be on there. Something that people want but is not the big time thing. Yeah. So it's, I don't know, I think if they called it like something different, like that second tier, the people wouldn't be as upset if they're not included. Because hey, we're the second tier events. It's okay.
True. I think however way you do it, like there has to be some sort of second tier, as you were saying. Yeah. There has to be some sort of way to differentiate between, what everybody has known and the new, because a lot of people don't want anything new. So it's like there has to be some sort of way to test it beforehand. And like if Kibby Minx works out like really well as a second tier event, then make it a main event.
Yeah.
But
the thing Kilo or Kibby Minx is, I feel like if you add that, you have to add like the other Minx puzzles too.
I don't think you do. Because the thing is, like, the bigger ones are just gonna take a really long time. Like, the main arguments for Kibby Minx are like, it's short enough that it's not gonna take forever to hold. Like, if you look at like a Gigaminx, right? Like, people, even the fastest people at Gigaminx aren't fast. Like,
wait, what are the master kill Minx?
Okay, I'm gonna call it Mebby Minx, but
okay,
I don't know. It's not that fast. Like, still a couple minutes at least, right? I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that argument either. I mean, like, we have Mega Minx, but we don't have the other
Yeah, true.
the other higher layered ones. Like, just because we have Megaminx doesn't automatically mean we have to have all
And
the
like
other ones.
we don't have 8
we
by
can
8,
deny
right?
certain.
You know.
Right. Just they're 8 by 8s, 9 by 9s, 10 by 10s, 11 by 11s, 13 by 13s,
I
soon
guess.
19 by 19s that exist.
So they
Doesn't mean
say.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy it.
Yeah.
I feel like that was just a jab at you. Should be like, hey, don't buy theirs. We might have something.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like yeah, I don't think they would need to add more stuff just because they add like Kibiminx or something. But I do feel like I agree with your second tier event things. Like the people who want events like say mirror blocks, because there are people who are really good at like shape mods and things like that. The people who want those events, they just want to be able to have official results in them. Like I don't think they're gonna be upset if it's not at Worlds. Like if it's an official event, like that's a win already.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Good point.
eventually if it gets popular, of course they should have it at Worlds. But like I feel like one of the things people are always worried about is like, oh well, competitions won't be able to have all of them. But very few like. Worlds isn't
They already
technically
don't have all of
required
them.
to. Yeah, and Nationals doesn't have feet, so,
And we already have like competitions that are specialized for certain events.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And
I just thought
what's
about-
stopping us from like going like, okay, if we add 5 new events, well, just to have somebody do a new competition for those 5 events. I mean,
Right.
like it works the same way, or you can choose those for other competitions.
Yeah. Sean, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I just like had this random vision that like for feet to scramble feet, the scramblers have to use their feet to scramble it. I don't know why that popped in my head, but it was very entertaining of just everyone having to use feet for like an entire few hours.
The judges
No
have to start
hands.
the stopwatch with their feet. Write
The
time
runners have to
down.
walk in their hands.
Write
Yeah.
the time down with their feet.
I think,
Scribbles on everything.
I think the bottom line for the new event argument is this. The current events, they're not getting any easier for people to get into them and get better, And there's so much potential outside of the current official events for things that could be events. So, like, the only issue right now is logistics-wise. People are asking, well, if we add mirror blocks and we add 20 new events and we have to do it at Nationals, we need another week for Nationals. That's more money, that's more time, that's more people, more resources, the logistics of it. But things would change, obviously. Like, we would have selective Nationals.
Yeah.
Like, these are the events we're doing. That's it.
Exactly.
But, I don't know. I think it could work.
Yeah.
I really think it could work.
I agree. I mean, there are other things we have to think about too, like you need random state scramblers and things like that. Like, okay, that's like Kibiminx, there's already a random state scrambler for that. But you do need to take things like that into account, and sometimes in some cases you need to add more regulations, right? So that's definitely a major part too. But when you look at a lot of the events people are proposing, there are like very few regulations you need to change,
Yeah.
And
I mean, like, take a look at mirror blocks. It's a 3x3 shape mod.
Yeah.
Keep the same scramble.
right,
Like,
yeah,
yeah. There would be some regulation changes probably with, like, +2s are harder to tell on them, right? So
yeah, I guess kinda. Yeah.
a little bit. I don't know.
I
In
think-
certain situations, maybe.
I
don't
think
know.
some things like mirror blocks though, like that seems like a really fun like spectator event, Like I feel like that would be really fun to watch, right?
Really?
Yeah, like especially like even for non-cubers, right? Like when you see like cubing news stories and stuff, like when you see people solving a square one, you're like, "Whoa, it changes shape." Right? So mirror blocks is like that but to an extreme,
Yeah.
So-
I mean, I feel like an argument against it a lot of people might use is, well, mirror blocks is a 3x3,
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like you could also make that argument for all the n by n's. Like, I know technically not, there's different ways to solve them,
Yeah.
But, like, they still have the same strategy going up a layer, right? I mean, it's the same sort of thing. With the mirror blocks, you might have to have a few different strategies. So I would say that 4x4, 5x5 is to 3x3 as mirror blocks would be to 3x3. I would argue that that's not an issue. And putting that even aside, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
different. Like DG said, it would be interesting, like as a spectator. It would be interesting as a competitor. Plenty of competitors probably want mirror blocks.
Yeah.
So,
It adds
I
variety.
don't know. let me bring this up. What do you guys? We mentioned a lot of names, but what do you guys think the top 5
Okay.
possible events that could be added are?
I've got mine.
All right.
Yeah, no, because
Okay.
I actually I was thinking about making a video about this, but yeah, I want to do, okay, so Kibby Minx, ReadyCube's my number 1, actually. I've been like, speed solving it a lot. It's really fun.
What's your time?
UWR. But, like, a 9 is my PB. I average, like, 17 or so.
What?
Yeah.
If that became an event, so many other companies would make ones with springs and
Yeah.
Are you ready for the magnetized boron treated ready cubes?
I'm ready.
God. I see what you did there. So yeah, mirror blocks would be in that definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
3.
Yeah, I would say
Cuboid.
Yeah, 3x3x5 I would choose.
3x3x5.
Yes.
Interesting. Is that a shape-shifting?
It is. That's why I would choose it. Because it seems to have, like, every aspect of it seems like it's the lowest order cuboid that has, like, every aspect of cuboids. You know?
Yeah, like the domino would be too low, right?
Yeah.
3x3x2.
I always felt like that was too small.
Yeah, I just never got into cuboids, so 3x3x2 was like one of the few ones I ever learned to actually solve. So that's always been in my mind if we were to add a cube, or like WCA were to add a cuboid.
We can make that. We can make that panda cube an event. Like everyone's solving pandas. It'd be adorable.
I'm in.
I got mine.
Ayo.
What else?
Either something with 2x2, like one-handed 2x2 or a blind 2x2.
I don't know if I'm for that so much.
I'm not either,
okay
but we're reaching here.
Yeah. I think
I would do blind.
Blind
But
2, I think, would be, because
like
there's a lot of people who just one look the solve, so it's just...
So it's just like...
I feel that's a little bit like...
Yeah. It's not something different.
What about
Just
blind
one
Pyrrha?
look.
Blind Pyrrha.
That's tough. That would be interesting because it would bring about, like, there aren't really methods for that yet.
Yeah.
Like, I know you did it once with the +2.
But since then, I actually came up with a blind method that's not one-looking, but, like...
You could have one with your name on it. A method with your name.
True.
I mean, you only need to track, like, how many edges are in a pyramid.
Yeah, it's not many.
Yeah.
It's like very simple, but like I mean the blind method I came up is basically like just do sledges, like set up to a sledge and then undo setup moves. So it's like it's pretty simple, but you know.
Old Goodman method.
Oh, I'm in.
I like it. No, I want to stick with the DGLL, even if it doesn't make sense. I want an actual DGLL. Make it happen, DGLL. I want an actual DGLL.
Oh, did I ever tell you guys about a method I came up with? It's called Cfinity. So
yes,
yeah.
You mentioned this very recently.
I've never heard of Cfinity.
So the way it works
Sounds delicious though.
It's like CFOP. You do cross F2L, hope for a last layer skip. If not, switch to another layer and do it again.
That'll just take many thousands of solves. Unless,
I love it.
Are you able to use something like winter?
Ooh, I guess you could. See, like, it's meant to really
not
be...
allowed for Cfinity.
It's meant to be a no-alg method. So... Because, you know, cross and F2L are intuitive steps, right? So, you just keep doing them.
I really want to try that.
Cfinity. No. Oh, man. You know what would be awesome? We need to have a live stream where we're just doing one Cfinity solve.
Oh, no.
And we would, like, keep trying... Like, we could call it, like, Journey to Cfinity, and, like, keep doing it. It's, like, 5 years later, you finally get one. Like, that would be crazy.
Honestly, that would be fun. But
if there was a way to record your moves, like, as you're doing it, so somehow, like, the camera would recognize that, that way, at the end, once you finally get it, you could have the whole solution written out. So
or you
could
could
do a
just ask
reconstruction
Cfinity. Oh, I remember. DG, you were talking about it with Derpy and I in a Skype call.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, man. So many unique methods. You're good at coming up with methods.
Unique.
Another word for useless. In this situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that devolved quickly.
It did.
But we got our 5, right?
Did we?
We got ReadyCube, Kibiminx. We didn't get the 5th.
Mirror blocks?
We got 3x3x5
Team
mirror
blind.
blocks, and we need a 5th.
Blind Pyrrha.
Team blinds would be awesome, but like horrible to regulate. but I would love to have it.
Like that would be really difficult to regulate.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having like teams and like, what if you do a factory, like a factory event?
I feel like
That's
that
two
would have to
methods
be
of
a
entering.
randomly drawn one at the competition, though. Because, I mean, depending on what the competition is, if there's some sort of team thing and just like 2 people show up who are just like ridiculous at it,
Yeah.
that's not going to be fun for other people. But if it was like a random draw, like, so you could just randomly get hooked up with some random person and then
Yeah,
that
but
way.
then you can't have jerseys. I'm just picturing like awesome team names.
like a
and,
bowling
jerseys.
jacket with patches.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're team TG and the Cubers. I don't know.
I'm like picturing this radio show like DG and the Badger.
Oh man.
Title anybody?
Oh, I have to
Title
fight
anybody?
so
and the
hard not to
Badger.
do like a. I have to fight so hard not to do a fake radio voice. Like half the time, I turn my camera, I'm like, "Hey, Shaudio from SpeedCubeReview," and I have to stop and redo it. So it just happens.
Honestly, that was great. You should honestly do that.
Okay.
For like one video, do it.
the whole
See
video.
if you get comments about that. Just like the whole video, just do it.
Just reply back like, "What are you guys talking about?" It's my voice.
That's just how I've always talked.
Honestly,
No, but wouldn't
review a
that be
cube
so
like that.
awesome?
I would love that.
All right, so I have this obsession, right? I love geography and like vexillology, the study of flags. I don't know what it is about it. Just like the idea of like, you know, a new organization that gets me excited. I know that sounds really weird. Like, and like sub-nations and stuff. I don't know if you can see, like, obviously the viewers can't see. I have a flag up there of like Cascadia, which is like a proposed sub-region of the U.S. And I think that's so cool. Like, and I like when new teams are formed and stuff like that. So I like basketball. I mentioned that earlier, but this new league was invented, like a 3-on-3 league, and I've just been like interested, and sometimes I'll go on other sports too, just like looking at the teams and like their jerseys and like, you know, their logo and stuff. Like once I found myself like in the middle of the night, like researching Ultimate Frisbee teams.
Ultimate
Because I like
Frisbee
the
is
team
amazing.
names. Yeah,
It is a
I like
fun
the
sport.
team names. I like the logos. Like I just think it's so cool.
Oh,
It's like
I gotta. Okay, somebody, one of the comments in the last video talked about. It wasn't asked, but asked why my logo was so similar to the X-Men design one.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
It
yeah.
is. It is not. First off, secondly, it's a cube with letters in it. Like that's like every company has done that. I am not like. So and also someone else made the logo for me through like a contest thing. But no, like I've got these right here. These are not the same.
Wait,
yeah,
wait, show
that's true.
me
I mean,
again.
like Gans has that too.
Yeah, that's pretty dang different.
Like it's a box with letters in it.
Hey Sean, how come your logo is so similar to the Ultimate Frisbee team's logo?
Oh, because I've copied their stuff because I want to be as cool as. I used to do Ultimate Frisbee a lot. Then I started
Really?
playing disc golf and that. Yeah, in college. Have you ever played it?
Yeah, it was invented by Steady Ed Hendrick.
It's exhausting. Wait,
What?
I thought that was the first disc golf.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Disc
Oh, I was talking about Ultimate Frisbee.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimate
yeah, I
Frisbee's
played both.
exhausting. But yeah, disc golf. I for like a while was really into that. I like would go to the state championship. It was just a ton of fun.
Oh,
but
cool.
I just don't have time. I've got a basket in my backyard, so I
Oh,
can randomly
nice.
putt.
Nice. We play that in my school actually. We play like weird sports at my school, but
Did you ever do like the crab soccer?
oh,
Where you have to like crab walk and there's one of the giant balls that
I
you would,
feel
like
like
kick around?
maybe in like elementary school we did that, but I don't think I haven't done that recently. No, but
Alright.
I've
That-
definitely done it before.
Freshman year in my school, we played something called scooter ball. Right, you know those little like the scooter
square.
things.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
square like boards that, and like you have to use your legs. You can't like touch the ground, but there's a ball you like throw around, and there are goals. So it's kind of like soccer, just with like on a scooter with your hands. And I was so good at this, and like everybody loved it. And so our teacher recognized that everybody loved it, and we never played it again.
What?
our gym teacher is not good. So
Just picturing this dark room with like the teachers in her office like conniving. The kids love this thing. She'll never do
no
it
more
again.
scooter ball. Like, and sometimes she would say like, we'll play scooter ball if like we do this, and then we never played scooter ball.
That's it ended very sad. Like,
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was
Did
just
not
like
expect
a
that.
happy story.
But
Oh, that
going back to
makes me
cubing,
sad.
would that be so cool? Like to form like factory teams and like come up with cool names and like coordinate shirts. I don't know.
Sure, Adam.
It's just me. No, I just like I don't know. I really like the whole jersey thing. Like I like having my name on the back of my shirt. I don't know.
Nice.
I recently got a shirt, the Michigan Cubing Club, that has my name in it, and they got the E, the accented U over the E correct. And I was
nice.
pumped about that.
Nice.
All right.
That devolved again.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're either doing team blind or factory.
Well,
Oh, we're still
factory's-
talking about that.
Yeah.
Factory's way too method dependent though, so I would go with team blind.
What do you mean it's too method?
You
Like
can't do-
everybody has to do the same method?
Yeah, like there would need to be definite rules for how many times you need to switch cubes and stuff. I don't think that
Yeah.
should. It's like
Oh, I
What
see
is
you're saying.
that? I've seen people do it where like one person's holding one side of the cube and one person's holding the other.
lefty righty.
That's
So,
also like
yeah.
too like.
That's
No, like do that, but have it be no teams, like random draw every time. So like Felix, we get paired with
No,
some,
like if you're
paired
good
out
at
with someone
OH,
who's never
then
done
they
it.
would, like,
Oh man.
we did
Just
that.
shouting.
We did that in Nats 2016 unofficially,
Oh really?
and it was
Mm.
randomly
Well-
drawn. But like,
Well,
Oh,
huh?
sorry. Go ahead, Gigi. I'll say my
Oh,
after.
I was
Gigi
gonna
knows
say,
what I'm
like-
gonna say.
Wait, I don't know what you're gonna say. So.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna say. For an unofficial event, we haven't mentioned.
Oh
it
yeah,
yet.
yeah. I know what you're gonna say.
Let me say it. Let me say it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, forget what I was gonna say. This is more important.
It's not
Say
1
it.
foot, is it?
No.
No. This is. DG and I invented it. Oh, there are a bunch of. This is the best one. Cap flipping. You start with all 6 caps face down. You start the timer and flip the caps and stop it.
I thought you said cats and not cats.
Oh.
Picturing like just throwing cats in the air as an event.
Another possible title.
Possibly
This is gonna be a
illegal.
Tough decision to come by. Yeah,
You just
okay,
keep
so
doing it until they
cap
don't land on their feet.
flipping. They will land on their feet. Cap flipping, or we had stand stacking, where you start with like 6 stands and you have to stack all of them,
Stands. What kind of stands?
like cube
like
stands.
cube stands.
The triangle ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, like they sound stupid because they are, but they were fun. They were really fun.
They were actually
Um,
surprisingly fun. I will give them that.
Yeah. Oh, but I have a suggestion for the team. I really think the team blind thing can work. I know what you're saying about method dependency and like when to switch and how we would regulate that, but I don't think anybody's ever tried this. But
It would also get
just
really
me.
noisy.
True.
Mm.
What about time dependency? Like each person gets 5 seconds, they have to pass it. That would add an extra layer of difficulty. You would have to communicate with your teammates to what point you're currently at.
Huh. That's
Would that-
interesting.
That's interesting, right?
I feel like it's too hard to make sure they like switch every 5 seconds though. Because there's gonna be some, like, people who are gonna switch at like 5.5, you know.
No, but like it would be like a time thing, similar to like how you're counting down. Like you would say, okay, let's say it's easy. Let's say it's like 15 seconds for the sake of it being easy, and then you would have the same method that you have for inspection.
Mm-hmm.
So you would say, 12 seconds, go, or 8 seconds, go, right, and go at 12, and then they would know like, oh, I have to pass it now. Like, and if they pass over the time limit, you DNF them. So that would add another layer of difficulty because you would have to time like where you do your algorithms. You would have to do them earlier on in the time because it would mess up your solve
So-
if you were mid algorithm and stuff like that.
So what if
I don't know,
it's
that would be
what if it's like Felix and another kid and Felix gets a sub 5?
No, I'm talking about obviously for 3x3 you wouldn't have 15 seconds. You would put like 5 seconds, and
No,
you would
but
have some sort of method to time.
What if
that, but-
Felix gets a sub 5 still? Right?
Okay, 2 seconds. No. What if I'm still going with the whole team thing. I'm still going like you make your teams. It's not like a random draft.
Okay.
you make your teams, and like you go there.
I don't know.
Obviously, there are some issues with it. Still with sub 5, but what do you think about the time thing?
It's got to be ironed out more, but I think there's like some potential there.
Have you ever seen those improv things where like one person stands behind the other and like puts their arms under the other person's arms?
Yeah.
Doing some sort of team line like that, so they have to put their arms like around the other person as if it's their arms.
Oh, that's interesting. And then the person who's like, who doesn't have arms has to say what to do.
Yes.
And use the other person's arm.
Oh
that's
man,
interesting.
that's cool. That is cool.
I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, leave them down below in the description. Or if you have a way to make like Team Blind work or Factory or
Yeah. All right.
I think my personal belief the 4 we said: Mirror Blocks, 3x3x5, Kibby Minx, Ready Cube, and I personally just like the Factory idea.
Mm.
Like I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
So I guess that's gonna wrap up our Real Talk cubing segment. And
Wait, did we talk about feet at nets?
Oh, I mean, this podcast is going longer than usual, so I don't think we. I'll just cut that.
There are no feet at Nats.
I won't be at Nats, and I don't do feet, so I'm good.
Okay, so so now it's time to move on to our final segment and also the best segment, cubing in the news.
We'll see about that.
So for those
Honestly,
of you,
it's probably gonna win.
For those of you who don't know, basically Cubing in the News is a segment where we read really bad cubing news articles, and this one is called "It's About Having Fun," says GWL 4th grader and competitive cuber.
Oh, I don't wanna make fun of a 4th grader's.
No,
guy
it's
goes
the 4th
to
grader
clowns.
didn't write it. The 4th grader didn't write it. Yeah, it's about.
Okay.
Yeah, the 4th
We know
grader's
him.
a cool guy. Yeah, I know him, but he the people who wrote the article aren't as cool. So so this was submitted. This was actually submitted to us by TJ Cubing. So big thanks to TJ Cubing for submitting this article. I think it's pretty good. So so Sean, I'm gonna send the link in our Hangouts chat, and you can open that.
Okay.
That's
There it
feet
is.
Narholder.
What?
That's
TJ
feet
Cubing?
Narholder. Yeah.
That's
Tommy
Tommy Cherry? Wouldn't he
Yeah.
be TC Cubing?
He's TC. He has 2 channels.
Oh.
One with his friend and TC Cuber.
Makes sense. Oh, right. Okay. Makes sense. Okay.
He's finishing loading right now.
Okay.
We should ask him what
There
he
we go.
thinks about feet not
So-
being nationals.
So I don't think this article is too long. So Sean, if you just want to read the whole thing out loud, and we'll dissect it as we go along.
Yes. Yeah, feel
Okay.
free to stop at any point and make comments. We always
Yeah.
do.
Okay. So, it's about having fun, says GWL 4th grader and competitive cuber. Okay, so, Northward News. Twisting and turning the iconic 3D puzzle, pausing ever so briefly every few seconds to determine his next move. He's pausing, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
We should note that. The gentle clicking... Wait, what? The gentle clicking providing a jerky yet steady rhythm. Okay.
Jerky yet steady.
I'm just enjoying the
an
gentle
oxymoron.
clicking. Obviously he's using magnets. Should I say the person's name?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Parker Trager completes the challenge, this time at the Seacliff School playground for Northward News. In about 12 seconds, having gotten his first Rubik's Cube when he was
Wait.
5. Oh, wait, yeah.
Reread the.
Yeah, I didn't say that's the correct sentence. Wait, this is one sentence.
No. It's starting from from Rubik's Cube. Take a look at where they wrote Rubik's.
You'll see
Wait.
it, Sean. Just really carefully read it.
Rubrics.
Oh, no.
Nice.
He's
rubric.
very into spreadsheets. Having gotten his first Rubik's Cube when he was 5, but solving the puzzle for the first time only a year ago, he remembers the date, April 19th, 2015. The Glenwood Landing 4th grader has now joined the competitive world of cubing, entering contests from Massachusetts to Maryland. And in quotes, I do it for fun. It's fun competing and meeting others like you, said
Wait,
Parker.
Who's you?
All of us, the collective us.
Wait, is he talking to Northward News? Like I cube so
They're
I
not
can
cubers.
meet Northward. Huh.
I'm gonna assume so that it allows him to meet news reporters.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember the first time I like had someone from a newspaper come and like do an interview about me, and I was like, "This is weird. Am I famous now? Is this a thing?"
I haven't had
like
that before.
It was for like a violin. I joined an international orchestra,
nice.
so I was going to Europe, but it was like some local paper that I don't even remember what it was. It was like the Oakland something. But anyways, so. Yeah, says Parker, who only joined the cubing circuit this past January, and when he entered a tournament in Somerset, New Jersey. Now, I've never heard it called the cubing circuit.
Yeah.
Is there an
Yeah, it's
actual
just something he
circuit
made
that,
up.
like he's going around from one specific competition to the next in a cubing circuit? Now with 4 under his belt, most recently this past month at Manhasset High School, Parker says he is less nervous competing in the tournaments at which the average age of competitors is 15 or 16. His time at the Manhasset tournament was 15.3 seconds, nearly 8 seconds less than the Somerset competition. When practicing, he averages 8.65 seconds.
That's
Is
totally wrong.
What is he at? Wait, yeah, I didn't think he was averaging 8.
He said,
and this is a year ago, too.
he said this time.
Maybe.
He said his best time was 12 seconds earlier in the article. Or
Wait,
something
yeah,
like
that's
that.
true. Yeah, it says he did it in 12 seconds.
They just made up 8.
Wait,
They're just
wait.
like, all right.
No, it's
Let me
probably
take a
his
look.
PB. It's probably his PB.
Probably.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Cause he's.
Here's what I'm confused about.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. You first.
It says so the sentence before that said he got 15.3 seconds at Manhasset, but he averages 8.65. So.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird.
That's a big difference. But Parker's goal, he says, is to set the world record.
That makes sense.
Oh, it happened again. The original Rubrik's Cube. It happened again.
So it wasn't
okay,
a typo.
It's one thing to make a typo.
Yeah.
This can't be a typo if you do it twice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The original Rubrik's Cube, Parker explains, is not used in competitions. It can't be spun fast enough. The competition cubes are designed to be pulled apart and greased. Oh. Okay. A. It can be used in competitions. People just don't.
Yeah.
B. Don't grease your cubes. Just bad idea.
Pour
Everything
some
pretty
grease in
quickly.
it.
I'm just picturing like somebody holding a Rubik's cube, just like spinning it, like the whole cube, like really quickly. Like I'm spinning it pretty quickly.
It's a fidget spinner,
I
man.
don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm actually waiting, because fidget spinners have ball bearings in them. I'm waiting to see if a cube ever has some sort of ball bearing thing. I don't know why it would,
Well,
but I don't know.
Pyraminx is used to.
Really?
Yeah, like
Cubes.
Moyu, Shangshao.
No, not like ball bearings, but like the bearings like that are in the center of fidget spinners to let them spin.
Oh, I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyways, going off track. The tournaments involve 17 events, each a different challenge with a 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, or even 7x7.
Also-
5x5 and 6x6 no one cares about.
Yeah, also they're not right. It's 18 events, so...
They're not counting feet.
Yeah. That's,
One of
that's
the-
them weighing in on this debate.
That's the official ruling now. One of the events requires competitors to solve the puzzle one-handed, and another, which Parker eventually intends to enter, requires competitors to complete the task blindfolded.
Ooh.
And in quotes, Parker's always been the kind of person that when he likes something, he dives right in, said his mother, Robbie King.
Like a pool.
Yes, that's... I thought it was like a pool table. I'm like trying to picture, like, why would someone jump on a pool table? I don't understand this analogy.
I really like this pool, man. I'll dive right in.
The first time he solved the cube, Parker explains, was with the help of YouTube instructional videos, which he continues to view to hone his skills. But it is through practice and careful study that he is often able to learn new approaches to tackling the puzzle that has proven maddeningly frustrating to the hopelessly impatient. Ugh.
That's such a run-on.
That someone wanted some big words in there.
Yeah.
Parker says that he would love to generate interest in cubing locally and start a club with the goal of hosting tournaments. Organizing the events, he continues, is a long process but can bring in people from all over the country. Ultimately, though, for Parker, competitive cubing is mostly about having fun and sharing that fun with others. I agree with that statement.
Yep.
If you're interested in joining Parker's club or looking for some tips on how to solve the puzzle, contact Parker at that email that I'm not going to read. Should I read the next part?
Sure. I tested this actually. It still works.
Okay. Mine doesn't work anymore, I don't think. So at the bottom of the newspaper article, also receiving a permanent 5% discount on all purchase of cubes and accessories at the online store, thecubicle.us, by using the code NWNParker.
Yep. Huh. So it still works. But instead, you could save 5% off at CubeDepotUSA.com with the discount code DGCubes.
Or I could undercut that by saying you can save 10% by going to SpeedCube Shop and use the code CubeReview.
Oh, man.
Oh, you can save 100% if you just go to the Cubicle's warehouse and rob them.
Cannot beat that.
Use the discount code, the Rubik's Cube, though, while you're there.
Just leave like a note that has the code on it.
The Dlsone podcast does not condone criminal behavior.
Thank you very much.
Oh, man. Also, one other
You
thing
should
I
not
noticed...
actually rob them.
Yeah. One other thing I noticed about this article, if you scroll up to the top of their website, it says Northward News, and then underneath that it says Glen Head, Glenwood, Landing, Greenvale, Old Brookville, Roslyn, Harbor, Seacliff. Like, what is that?
I think it's all the towns or something.
But
Yeah,
like,
all the cities.
see, what bothers me is they don't evenly space them, right? Because there's old.
Yeah.
I'm guessing old is in its own place, right?
And I'm thinking like, because there's Glenwood, which is one word, but Glen Head is 2 words, so it just looks like there's the place Glen, the place Head,
Yeah.
the place Glenwood, the place Landing. Because there's the Greenville, then there's C and then Cliff. The C is one of their publication places.
You know, we just got Harbor. Harbor. We got Harbor, C, Cliff, Old, Head.
Welcome to Glen.
This website is pretty poorly
Population
formatted.
Glen. I can imagine a city called Glen just with one person named Glen.
Just sitting on a porch on like a porch swing.
He's
Oh,
the
man.
mayor.
All right. So that wraps up our Cubing in the News segment. That was pretty good. Thank you to TJ Cubing for submitting that article. That was a pretty
You're
great
welcome.
one. You're welcome. All right. So thanks, Sean, for coming on this episode. This was really fun.
Yeah, thank you. I had a blast.
Yeah, it was a good time. So, and without any further ado, it's time to announce our next guest. So, drum roll. And our next guest is Sam Schultz. So, we'll be filming this episode on site at US Nationals 2017 with Sam Schultz. So that's about it for this one. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can leave them down below, and that would be much appreciated. Like, share this video, and follow us on social media in order to be awesome, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening.
Okay, bye.